Hey you guys, so glad to be back. I haven't been doing videos for a little while. I got super busy at the beginning of the summer, and so I just had to cut it out for a minute. So I'm back and I'm going to try to keep my videos steady for you guys. I've had a lot of questions, a lot of requests, and a lot of compliments over the last few months, so it really inspired me to continue on. So here we go. All right, so today I want to address a question that came to me just a few weeks ago. A guy was asking how to get involved with producers, how to meet them, connect up, and how to work with them. As I thought about his question, there was one producer that came to mind that I really wanted to talk about today, and his name is Andreas Schuller, but he's better known as Axident. So Axident was born in Norway, and he built his early part of his career there. When he came to America, he was really kind of a dance guy, had great dance chops, really understood that genre of music. And then he met Ron Moss. Now, Ron and I worked together at Universal. Ron was one of the creative managers there. He liked what he saw with Axident, so he signed him to a publishing deal. And this is where it got interesting. So back in the early part of the decade, we were in an office that was over on Colorado Boulevard. And it was the same street that all of the Universal record labels are on. And we just relocated there. And so all of a sudden, the record labels were finding an opportunity to come over and deal with us. There was a lot of synergy, and they were in our studios a lot. So right about that time, one of the Universal record label heads, Jimmy Iovine, got involved with American Idol. And he decided he wanted to do some of the taping and some of the studio recording for the American Idol artist in this big Universal publishing studio. So they were just down the hall from where we were. In this one particular season, I can't remember what year it was, but this one season, the main producer that was producing all of the artists that would come into the studio was a producer named Tricky. And Tricky was down there almost every night. He was in the studio. When you're doing this American Idol thing, you're running a ton of artists through there all the time, recording them. You have to move fast. And so Tricky was there a lot. Now, this is where Axident comes in. Now, Axident had been signed to us, and he was given a little writer room. It was a little writer room that he set up as his studio, and it was on the opposite end of the hallway from the big Universal studio. And so at night, you had all of these American Idol artists coming in. You had Tricky down the hall, and you had Axident down the other end. Now, at the time, Axident hadn't really blown up yet. He was just a struggling producer working in this little writer room. So when he started realizing that right down the hall, he had all these American Idol artists and Tricky in the room, he decided, I have to get to know Tricky. But, being wise to the way things work, he was smart enough to know, I'm not just going to go wander down there and go, hi, Tricky, I'm Axident. But what he did instead was every night, he would just be cranking his music. Whatever he was working on, he would choose the best of the best, and he'd be cranking it out of that little writer room that he was in. And he'd probably either keep the door wide open or cracked, but he made sure that if you walked out of that Universal studio, you heard his music cranking down the hallway. And just as he expected, because he was very good, he was a talented guy, had great music, just as he expected, at some point, finally, Tricky wanders in one night. Hey, man, what are you doing? What's your story? I like what I'm hearing coming out of the room. And so as they got to know each other and he played some more stuff for Tricky, Tricky said, look, I don't really have a dance guy on my team. I need one. So I think it should be you. They struck up a deal. Axident ended up working for Tricky a little bit. And I don't even know if he had any great success working for Tricky, but that got him in the door with a major producer. And it got him kind of in different circles. And that's the key to really the answer to the question that I started out with. How do you get to know producers? Is, first of all, you definitely have to get somewhere where those producers are already active. A music town like Los Angeles, Nashville, maybe Atlanta. There's other ones around, but those are the kind of key ones really here in the U.S., New York. I think that really as the industry has smalled down, many of the producers that were all around the country have really concentrated now to Los Angeles. So if you're trying to figure out which of those cities to move to, Los Angeles is probably the one that will give you the most opportunity. Whenever I say something like that, I really stress, and I have said this in other videos, if you do decide to come to Los Angeles, you want to meet people, you want to get in the game, do not forget that this is a tough haul. There's no rule you're going to make it. You really do need to find a place that you can sort of accidentally, pun intended, rub shoulders with these guys, right? You need to find a place that you can be in the same sort of world navigating around that they are. In Axident's case, he wasn't a huge producer, but he was a very good producer. He went to probably numerous publishing companies trying to get a deal, and everything else kind of fell from there. And after that, he just kept working angles. He just kept meeting people here and there. And little by little, he ended up with some really great writers, some really great producers, into the right doors with record labels. And with that, he started having some really big opportunities for major cuts with artists like Jason Derulo, Jake Miller, Pitbull, Iconopop. So these days, he's a very established producer. So the key is always to just put yourself in places where you're going to be able to meet these people. Now, if you aren't in a publishing deal, but you're in a city like Los Angeles, I tell everybody that I meet out here, get into clubs, get into the scene that's on the Sunset Strip. A lot of people are moving into Hollywood, or they're moving into some of the cooler areas like Venice, maybe Silver Lake. All of these are kind of cool areas around LA. You're going to find people that are like you. And if you find someone that is like you but has been there 2 years longer, they're a little more established, they've got some opportunities going on that you don't, those are the people you want to know. That you want them to be first your friends, and then as they get to know you, hear your music, they can start to include you in some of their opportunities or turn you on to things that they're aware of that you could do. All right, you guys, there you have it. And remember, this is not an endorsement to quit your job, to pack your bags and to move to LA or some other music city. I just always want people to understand that if you're deciding to make that move, make it carefully, maybe prepare ahead, get some money put away for a while. It's a very, very tough haul to come into a town like this and get established. All right, you guys, I hope this was worthwhile to you. More videos coming. So if you like this, please do hit like, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can know when I release other videos. And until next time.